Welcome to Northern Tales, where two worlds can collide, and sometimes something beautiful begins. Today's story is the first in a five-part journey about two women who couldn't be more different. A privileged doctor, trained in London, searching for purpose, and a girl from the margins, surviving on scraps of dignity. Their paths weren't meant to cross, but fate, or maybe something greater, brought them to the same dusty clinic outside Abuja. And from that moment, neither of their lives would ever be the same. We post new stories every Thursdays and Sunday. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let's begin Binta and Zainab. Part 1, Shadow in the Light. The black Prado Jeep hummed to a stop on a narrow, dusty road just outside the outskirts of Abuja. Zainab stepped out carefully, her white coat still crisp, her stethoscope tucked into her leather satchel. She squinted at the modest signboard above the gate. Grace Hope Community Health Clinic, supported by Renew Aid Foundation. There was no gate security, just a rusty latch and a boy hawking recharge cards under a mango tree. The driver, wearing a starched caftan and a scowl, remained in the car. "Madam," he said stiffly, "Olga said I should wait 15 minutes in case you change your mind." Zainab ignored him and walked toward the clinic. She still heard her father's voice from breakfast. "Zainab, I spent millions sending you to Imperial College. You've trained in London, you've worked at King's. You have options. What is this madness about IDPs and NGO work?" Her mother, buttering toast, had tried to soften things. "We're not saying don't help them, but must it be there?" Zainab had said nothing for a moment, then stood up and kissed her mother's head gently. "6 months, Mama, maybe a year. Let me know my country. I need to see the system for myself." Her father slammed his cup. "Your mates are becoming consultants, and you want to become Florence Nightingale in the bush." She said it calmly. "If I can't use my privilege to heal the forgotten, what was the point of all that schooling?" The building at Grace Hope Community Health Clinic was simple. Cement walls, a tin roof, 2 consultation rooms, a makeshift pharmacy, and a matron's desk propped up by bricks. The patients were already lining up. Women in hijabs, malnourished children, a man in crutches, a girl barely 16 holding a baby whose eyes didn't blink. The matron, Mama Ndidi, came forward, a woman in her late 50s with a loud voice and motherly arms. "Ah, you're the doctor? The Oyinbo one?" Zainab laughed softly. "No Oyinbo here. I'm Zainab." They shook hands, rough on soft. Inside, the stench of iodine, sweat, and powdered disinfectant clung to the walls. No electronic records, no lab automation. The thermometer was analog. The blood pressure cuff leaked air. But Zainab saw what mattered. The people. As she washed her hands in a cracked sink, she looked at herself in the mirror above it. Her scarf was still neat. Her lip gloss had faded. But her eyes, they burned with something her father would never understand. She was not here for pity. She was not here for applause. She was here because the world was broken in places people chose not to look, and she had trained to look anyway. Zainab inhaled and stepped into her new role. "Mama Ndidi, let's start." The woman sitting before her was in her late 30s, tired eyes cradling weeks of worry. She complained of abdominal pain, irregular bleeding, and a fear she hadn't dared say aloud. Zainab listened carefully, asked questions without rushing, gently performed an exam. "You need a pelvic scan," she said softly. "Maybe a biopsy too, but we'll take it one step at a time." She saw the tremble in woman's fingers as she nodded, so Zainab touched her shoulder, not as a doctor, but as a woman who understood what fear felt like. Her second patient was a teenage girl, barely 16, accompanied by her aunt, eyes downcast, voice barely above a whisper. Positive pregnancy test. 7 weeks along, no prenatal care. Zainab didn't judge. She simply asked, "Are you safe where you're staying?" The girl's eyes glistened. That was answer enough. Zainab made quiet notes, signed a referral slip for the social worker, and said, "We'll help you. You're not alone. By the time her third patient walked in, a woman with high blood pressure and swollen feet, Zainab felt her rhythm settling in. She adjusted her tone, measured the woman's blood pressure twice. 180 over 110, she murmured. Have you had headaches? Blurred vision? The woman nodded. Zainab didn't wait. She wrote up an admission form and called the nurse. She's 32 weeks pregnant. Possible preeclampsia. Let's admit and start monitoring. The ward buzzed with footsteps and files. But for Zainab, everything had narrowed into clarity. She wasn't here for titles. She wasn't here to impress. She was here to serve. And in that small, worn-down clinic, with its flickering lights and broken window panes, Dr. Zainab found something she hadn't felt in years. Purpose. Zainab was in the middle of examining a child with a fever when she heard the commotion. Raised voices, sharp words, a cough. Then laughter, not joy, but mockery. She excused herself gently, stepped out of the consulting room, and paused at the hallway. In front of her stood a girl, maybe 21, maybe younger, wearing a neon pink dress that barely reached her knees. Her attachment hair was stiff, uneven, and overdue for release. Her lip gloss was smudged, her eyes lined in fading black pencil. She chewed gum aggressively, one hip cocked. Her body was thin, too thin, the kind that came from long days without real meals and long nights with strangers. And the perfume, it arrived before she did. Cheap, loud, desperate. Across from her, arms akimbo and voice raised, was Mama Ndidi, the matron. You this girl? One day your mouth will put you in big trouble. I said it yesterday, and I will say it again today. This is a hospital, not your boyfriend's backyard. The girl smirked. Then stop treating me like your daughter. If I wanted lectures, I would have gone to school. Nonsense. You come here anyhow, any time. Always smelling of drink and sweat. I told you to use the condom I gave you. You refuse. Now every week it's yeast today, discharge tomorrow, sore throat next week. Abi, is it cough now? The girl rolled her eyes, coughed again, and snapped. Then stop wasting your energy. See me or shut up. It's not your father's money, is it? NGO is paying, Abi? Abi, you are the one paying my lab test? Ndidi fumed. Today you won't enter. Leave this place. The girl clicked her tongue and turned to leave, but her steps faltered. She coughed again, this time longer. A wet, chesty cough that curled at the edge of pain. Excuse me. Zainab stepped forward, voice calm, almost tender. Good morning, she said, addressing both. Ndidi folded her arms. Doctor, please. This one is a waste of our time. She doesn't listen. Zainab turned to the girl. Her eyes softened, not with pity, but something deeper. What's your name? The girl looked at her, suspicious. People call me Binta. Okay, Binta, I'm Doctor. Zainab. She extended a hand. Binta looked at it, then scoffed. You want to shake me? Why? So you'll go and scrub your hand like Mama Ndidi here? Zainab didn't flinch. She kept her hand out. Binta hesitated, then took it. It was the softest thing she had touched in weeks. Come in, Zainab said. Let me take a look at that cough. But doctor, Mama Ndidi protested. Zainab's voice was firm. She's a patient. That's all that matters. Binta paused at the door, then turned to Ndidi with a crooked grin. You hear that? Doctor says I'm your responsibility, Ndidi hissed. God will judge all of you. As Zainab led Binta into the room, she knew this was the beginning of something she couldn't name yet, but deep down she felt it. This girl was not just a patient, she was a story, and Zainab was going to hear every chapter. One came to serve, the other came to survive. But somewhere between the cough, the sarcasm, and the stares, a spark was lit. Not friendship, not yet, but recognition, the kind that says, I see you, even if the world refuses to. Thank you for watching, Doctor. Zainab and Binta. Part 1. Shadow in the Light. If this story moved you, like, comment, and share it with someone who still believes in second chances. And don't miss Part 2, where walls begin to crack, secrets unfold, and healing starts. from both sides of the bed. Until next time, this is Northern Tales, where every woman's story matters.